welcome to Dynamite the Light. Beach Break 2022. I only have one word for this, and that's what I'm going to use for this title, and that is questions. We have 3 situations that's happened on this beach break, and you wonder what's about to happen with those situations. Will they be built properly? That's the first question. Will they be led to a conclusion? That's another question. What will happen in between that? Will they be filler or not? And once the conclusion's over, will the individuals actually have something to gain from it? Now, the ladder match for the unification of the TNT titles. Sammy versus Cody Rhodes. Now, I gotta agree with JD on one situation here. We have seen these type of matches so many times, they don't feel special anymore. They don't. I gotta at least say when it came to Impact Wrestling, when they did the Full Metal Mayhem match, at least it was one time. A one-time thing once a year, at least at first. And like when it came to Monsters Ball, supposing when it came to the Abyss, at least in the beginning, it was rare until they kept doing it all the time because they had nothing else to fall back on. So when you see here, it's just, it doesn't really feel like anything. Now, mind you, they haven't done a lot of ladder matches because the show has only been around for 2.5 years, so they haven't done a lot. But still, I kind of wish that this was done at a pay-per-view and that it was special. That it would be announced that this is a one-time, once-a-year thing that we have a ladder match. I think it would really help the product due to the fact that everybody else does it all the time. Particularly what happened with GCW. If you did not see my review of it, I would suggest you look at it because GCW, and I've checked, they have weekly tapings. And I've not seen any of the weekly tapings. If they're exactly like the pay-per-view, they ain't getting no fucking where. And I hate to curse, but I got to. Because it makes sense to say they're not getting anywhere with a curse. I kind of wish that the ladder match would be rare in AEW, but I doubt it ever will be. Was it a bad ladder match? No, it was not. But this is where things get a little interesting for me personally. Look, I don't hate Cody. But I gotta say, what the fuck is wrong with him? And I gotta say this again. What the fuck is wrong with him? He has supposedly, if I remember correctly, he has at least 1 slip disc and 2 bulges in his neck. Guys, either he has some bulges in his back or he has a slip disc in his back or in his neck. I can't remember which one, but he has issues with his back and his neck. And he's crazy enough to be doing ladder match, which puts a tremendous strain on you. I commend him. No matter if you think he's a dick like the Slug Daddy or you think he's a saint. It doesn't make a difference. He is messed up and he knows he's messed up. He said in Roads to the Top with his show, which I've only seen like episode 1 and 2, and that was it. And 3. That was it. I've not seen any since then. But what he said, that he has a messed up neck and back, for him to do a ladder match is stupid. But he did it because he loves the business and he wanted to get a payoff. So what does this mean? Does he now turn full heel? No. He's the John Cena, guys. We know he's a heel, but he'll never say he's turning heel. He will never become heel. He's acting exactly like John Cena. If anyone thinks that he's turning heel, no. Now, if I'm wrong, and he says it, and he really shows it, fine. But as it stands right now, you are looking at John Cena 2.0. The real John Cena 2.0. Because Roman Reigns was never even close to John Cena. Cody Rhodes is the closest you got in recent memory. Because he is the most hated guy who's at the very top of the list that you know they're going to give options to, and he's an executive. Now, John Cena has never been an executive, but he doesn't have to. He's a yes man. John Cena's a yes man. He will always be a yes man, even though he has complained about the product. He's a yes man That's Cody Rhodes, and that's the reason why he did not resign, to make things look interesting, since he right now does not have a contract. He's a free agent from AEW, does not mean he's leaving. He's doing this to drum up interest, because as long as he's not signed, you wonder, oh, is he going to the Royal Rumble on Saturday? Is he going to Impact Wrestling? Is he going to MLW? Oh, he's going to GCW. He's not doing none of that shit. He's purposely not re-signed yet to drum up interest. That's the reason why he held the title. If he actually leaves the company, that would be beyond stupid for him, and it will hurt the company of AEW, because he helped found the damn thing. I'm just saying. Now, 6-man tag. I know I could do Warlow, but I'm doing that next. 6-man tag with a Inner Circle versus 2.0 and Garcia. Now, here's the thing. This is a question. The first one. Where they're going with Pride and Power versus a little bit of the bubbly, in other words, a Chris Jericho. They're trying to say that he's never cared about him when he has. They're trying to say they've never been given options, which they haven't. And now they have this match where they did not want to tag him in majority of the time. And he still saved them by giving them an option to win by the Judas effect. They won. Either they didn't see it or they didn't care that they didn't see it. It doesn't make a difference. They won, and Chris was still there for them. He did do the job. He saved their butts because they weren't winning. Here's the question. What does this mean if Santana Ortiz finally breaks away? Does this mean that Eddie Kingston's going to be the manager or not? Because right now Eddie Kingston's injured, if I understand correctly. He's actually injured again. Or is he injured, or he's still... I'm not sure. I think he's still injured. But the point is, will he become the manager? And if he does become the manager, will Chris and Eddie have a match at All In? Because I think that's the next... No, is it Revolution or All In? No, Revolution. I think Revolution is the next pay-per-view for an AEW. So if it's AEW's Revolution, I think it is. Then, will they have a match or not? That's the question. Next, Warlow versus 2 jobbers, and he destroys them. Say that again. He annihilates them. There was not even a challenge. He annihilates them. Done. But he's getting more and more frustrated. One, Sean Spears wants to get more clout for himself. He wanted to go to the ring and whoop their ass with a chair, but Warlow's walking away and doesn't give him the option to do it. And what happened with CM Punk, which I'll get to in a few minutes. So, it's another question. How long until Warlow does something? Whether he turns on them and turns face, or he turns on them and he doesn't turn face, he stays exactly the same way, but he's not with them. I'm just saying. Now, next. Leia Hirsch versus Red Velvet. Why is she not working with the Hardy brand? Now, of course, Matt Hardy showed himself with Private Party, talking to Jurassic Express, saying that they want that match, and it's supposed to happen, I think, this Friday on Rampage. But why isn't Leia Hirsch working with them? She's a perfect fit for the Hardy brand. No, not Hardy brand. What am I talking about? Who would be really good for the Hardy brand other than Bunny and Penelope Forbes? No, is Penelope working with the Hardy brand? I don't remember. I mean Team Taz. Because I'm trying to remember, because Team Taz did also have a segment where they were in the cold with Tony Schiavone, when you got Ricky Starks, and you got the powerhouse Hobbs. Pretty much saying to Dante Martin, Dante, this Friday or next Wednesday, me and you are going to have a moment. You never beat me and you never will. We're going to destroy you. And also, when it came to Jay Lethal, because he did help Dante Martin, he said, Jay, and this is Ricky Starks, you know what? I remember what happened with you. I remember what's going on, and I believe next week, he said it next week, you and I will have a chance to go after each other for the FDW title. Okay. I'd rather see Jay Lethal go after the TNT title, but if there's no room right now for him because Sammy just won it, I can understand they're going to let him have the FTW title for a little while, and then he drops it, and then he moves on to the TNT title. That's what I want. The one who should have the FTW title should be Hook. So the question is, when will Hook get it? Another question. Now, we got the CM Punk segment. And now I know I'm jumping around, and I haven't finished with Leah Hirsch. Actually, I have finished with Leah Hirsch. Why isn't she working with Team Taz? She won the match, even though she had to cheat. But why? Now, let's move on to CM Punk. CM Punk had his moment talking to the crowd, talking to them and making them understand how much he wants MJF. And then MJF comes out, pretty much tries to belittle his ass, and pretty much tried to piss off the fans there at Cleveland, Ohio. I believe it was Cleveland. And pretty much, I never remember places. I'm bad, guys. Like, I'm bad with names. I tend to forget places sometimes, too. I tend to forget. Sorry. But anyway, you get to see the greatest heel that currently is out there. The MJF. He may not be as great as Roman Reigns, as many people say. He's not even close, but he's more than adequate. He is a damn good heel. I love him. And he pissed off the fans, even though it wasn't really great, but he did piss them off to cheer and also boo. That was good, because CM Punk wants a match now. MJF said he'll give him one next week, and then everyone comes out from the Pinnacle and whoops his ass, and then you see Wardlow not interested in doing what he was ordered to do by powerbombing, because he was told by MJF powerbomb his ass. And Wardlow's going like this. He didn't want to do it, but he still powerbombed him onto a steel chair. He did not look happy. He didn't want to do it. Now, I'm not saying Wardlow's turned to a face, but like I said, he's either going to be a face or he's going to stay a heel, but he just doesn't want to be under someone's control. And he sees CM Punk as just showing how much he's being forced to do whatever the hell he's told to do. I'm just saying. Now, Britt Baker had a moment, but here's where there's a big question for me. When she was talking about all her accolades, what she got for Match of the Year, for Wrestler of the Year, for, what was the other one? For the Best Improved of the Year. She got all those accolades. She earned it. She won over the crowd. DMD, she won it. But here's the problem for me personally. What now? Who now? Who is next? She's pretty much gone through the entire roster. Yes, of course, we can do it again with Thunder Rosa, which should be the next one. But eventually, who is next after Thunder Rosa? We know she's going to deal with Thunder Rosa, and there's a good possibility Thunder Rosa may win the title. But who's going to be next for Britt Baker? She's gone through everyone on the roster. The only one she hasn't gotten beaten by was Thunder Rosa, which will probably come at possibly Revolution, because there's going to be a possibility she's going to do it. I'm just saying, that's what I'm seeing. But we need more women there because we've gone through everyone already. And look what happened at nearing the end of the show. You got Nia Rose coming out with Vicky Guerrero screaming, saying, I am angry that I should be the TNT champion. I want Ruby Soho next week. I want her. This just shows that there's a major problem with AEW for at least the women still. Now, mind you, it has improved. I will admit this myself. The women's division has improved to a certain extent. It has. And what Big Swole said isn't true. There is a change. You can see there's a change. Almost every woman there has done better work. Nia Rose has done better work. Penelope Forbes has done better work. Bunny has done better work. Yes, she doesn't talk a lot, but she has shown it through her wrestling along with Penelope Forbes. Nia Rose is due to the fact that there's not a lot of time for her on TV, but it doesn't mean she sucks. Thunder Rosa had her moment. We had Red Velvet have her moment. Everyone's had their moment. Even Leah Hirsch dealing with Statlander. Eventually they're going to have a feud. You will see it. So all of them are doing it, but there's still some stuff missing. Particularly that we need veterans on there. Yes, Mercedes Martinez is on there, but we have not sponsored her much yet. And we need one major player there, and that's Taya Valkyrie. If Taya goes there, I truly believe that's going to change the dynamic of the entire division. Taya has always been a very special individual, and not taking anything away from all the other women that's kind of come from NXT. Eventually, we're going to see Athena there. Even if it's on Dark. If she's not going to be there permanently, she'll be on Dark. Jordan Grace is going to pass through there. Hell, you're going to see even a Dana Purrazzo eventually pass through there. But the person I think will be the best person then and now will be a Taya Valkyrie. That's just me. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about, because I know I can talk about Lance Archer, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that alone with Paige. This is about the lights out match with a Adam Cole versus a Orange Cassidy. Was the lights out an uncontested, well, not uncontested match. It was an unsanctioned match. Was it good? Yes, it was damn good. Does it come close to Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa? No. No. And again, I say no. Last year, I believe it was last year, Thunder Rosa versus a Britt Baker. Was it last year or the year before? Either last year or the year before. I can't remember. I think it was last year. You guys tell me below. Was it last year that match happened or the year before that happened? I can't remember. A lot of crazy stuff happened to me last year. I got sick multiple times due to stress. But I don't remember. I just don't. I botched. I remember. Like that. That means it upsets me that I don't remember, so I botch, and then my words go blah, 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 blah. This may not be the Gump Report, but you still hear me botch my ass off. But their match didn't match Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. No. But seeing that Adam Cole is doing the same thing as his woman, that's not a bad thing to see. Particularly that for him, he's got to build up. He's got to go up. And in this match, he did finally lose, which is fine. That's a great thing to see, that Adam Cole would lose to someone who's established. But it doesn't mean it hurts him. He had a damn great match. This was a good-ass match for the men. But is it as good as the caliber of his woman, his fiancée? No. Not taking anything from him, this was a different dynamic when it came to them. Even though it was very similar, that he came in instead of Thunder Rosa coming in, and did Britt win, or was it? No, Britt lost that match, and Thunder Rosa won, even though it didn't count on the standings and getting a title shot. I will say this was a good show. It was good, but it gives a whole bunch of questions that you wonder, will they be able to, like I said in the beginning of this review, will they book it correctly? Will there be a good outcome? Will there be something for them afterward, for people who worked in these types of angles? And will there be filler in between until they can get it done by a pay-per-view on, I believe it's Revolution. That's the next pay-per-view. Not All In, I think it's Revolution. But this is just me, and I hope you enjoyed this. Zane, you please give me a comment below. There is no NWA Power. There was Power Surge, but there was no Power. So I'm sorry, guys. I can't really do anything about that. They did show one ordinary match, but the rest was just a repeat. So, sorry. See you for Impact. Peace.